Hello, everybody. So in this video, I'm going to deliver a lecture on the philosophy of freedom. So this is the outline of our today's lecture. So we'll deal with the freedom, types of freedom, Spinoza's statement on freedom, and the motives for freedom. So development of the term in different historical times. So in ancient Greece, everyone is free to choose their fate. Uh, and they were eager to choose their fate in ancient Greece time. In the Middle Age, in the Middle Ages, religion played a big role which affected all spheres of life, including philosophical thought. In the Renaissance, anthropocentrism develops, which idealizes a person. Man is free from religious dogma. In the New Age, denies the existence of freedom. Denies the existence of freedom. So, there are two types of freedom. The first one is positive, and the second one is negative. Negative freedom, freedom from external forces or powers. So, in order to be free, man needs liberation from external hinders or obstacles. As for the positive freedom, freedom for self-realization, liberating from the natural or religious powers, man gets freedom and at the same time responsibility. So factors limiting freedom. So there are a few factors limiting freedom. So natural or biological, so related to basic needs, for example, sleep, food, water. So these are the natural or biological freedoms. And besides, there is social factors. So they are conditioned by our social nature and environment. This includes the rules established in society. For example, social norms, customs and traditions, laws, and etc. So these are the factors limiting freedom. In the modern world, loans that force us to stay in an unloved but paid job, and the children because of which a woman stays with a man she doesn't love. So this is in modern world, the obstacles or factors that limits freedom. Types of freedoms, internal and external. Internal freedom, internal freedom is spiritual, ideological freedom. That is freedom of the mind, liberation, harmony of the soul and mind. And as for the external freedom, it is the material-based freedom, freedom of action, freedom of associate with the interaction of the external world. Uh, Spinoza, with regard to the freedom, he writes, I call a thing free which exists and acts from the pure necessity of its nature, and I call that unfree of which the being and action are fixedly determined by something else. Thus, for example, God through necessary is free because he exists only through the necessity of his own nature. And with his statement, Spinoza writes that human doesn't have like absolute freedom, but however, God has absolute freedom. So this is an illustration to perceive this more clearly. Let us imagine a perfectly simple case. A stone, for example, receives from an external cause acting upon it a certain quantity of motion. The continued motion of the stone is due to the compulsion, not to the necessity of its own nature. So this is the illustration of Spinoza's argument with regards to the freedom. So he's also another statement with regards to the freedom. Freedom is an illusion. It is said that man is free when he is controlled only by his reason and not by his animal passions. If without my cooperation a rational decision emerges in me with the same necessity with which hunger and thirst arise, then I must needs obey it, and my freedom is an illusion. So this means that freedom is not available, and the man doesn't have like absolute freedom. And it's this picture. From this picture, we can see that whether we go to the right or left, so we don't have like absolute freedom to choose. So he is a picture love motive case. So our motives are always permeated by thoughts. Love, pity, and patriotism are driving force for actions which cannot be analyzed away into cold concepts of the intellect. So this means that whether we love, whether we have a pity on animals or anyone or and the patriotism feelings, all these motives are driven by first by thoughts. So this is a short summary of our today's lecture. Thank you very much for watching my video on philosophy of freedom. So if you have any questions, we can discuss this deeply, profoundly in our seminar. So see you on our seminar. Have a good day. Goodbye.